Hey guys, HDV here. Now, it's pretty obvious that Pokemon is one of the biggest franchises out there. A lot of people like myself have grown up watching the anime and playing the games, whereas a lot of new fans are always being drawn into the series. There are now over 800 Pokemon in total across all of the regions and generations. That's a lot of monsters. With that many being created though, surely the question of which Pokemon is the strongest must have been asked once or twice over the years. Taking a look into this pretty interesting topic, today's video dives into the deep end at trying to answer this question. Of course, this is all my own opinion at the end of the day, and whilst you may disagree with my choices, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this topic and who you believe to be the strongest Pokemon of all time, so be sure to leave your suggestions in the comment section below after watching the video. With all of the introductions out of the way though, let's get started, and I really hope that you enjoy. Starting things off and claiming the number 5 spot in today's top 5 video is Mew. Mew is a much loved Pokemon who hit the genetic lottery jackpot big time, and I'm not just talking about its incredibly cute looks. It supposedly has the DNA of every single Pokemon contained within its body, and so with the genes of every competitor at its disposal, you can only imagine how powerful that allows it to be. Using all the Pokemon DNA, it is able to learn any of their attacks to use and therefore has a massive library of possible attacks to use, hence why Mew is able to learn any TM that it wants. That obviously leads a lot of fans to ask if there is any limit to Mew's powers, since it can basically have any power whatsoever. Well, finding its limits is hard, but finding more of its abilities is easy. It is also highly adaptive in other many ways, as it can travel freely in the air or in water and can turn itself invisible at will. If none of that convinces you that Mew deserves a place on the list, then nothing will. Mew obviously doesn't have the highest stat total in the Pokemon games, and so you could argue that it shouldn't be on this list, seeing as there are much better candidates, but being able to learn pretty much any move is super useful, and Mew can even transform into any Pokemon too. Both of these reasons swayed me to put Mew on this list, and so because of that, earns itself a place in today's top 5 video. Coming in at the number 4 spot in today's top 5 video is a legendary pair, being Kyogre and Groudon. Kyogre and Groudon may be notorious for their catastrophic battle, but there is no denying they make a powerful pair. They are both part of the weather trio, along with Rayquaza. Kyogre has the ability to expand the oceans. It does this by creating huge rain clouds over the whole sky and producing torrential downpour and enormous tidal waves. It has the power to control water, and he's been called the creator of the sea in mythology. It has been known to use its power to save people from droughts before. After its massive battle with Groudon, it took to sleep in a marine trench. Kyogre was already incredibly powerful, but after getting its primal evolution in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, its power rose by an incredible amount. Primal Kyogre has an amazing stat total of 770 and an incredible ability in Primordial Sea. If you're unaware of what this ability does, when a Pokemon with Primordial Sea enters the battle or a Pokemon gains the ability Primordial Sea, the ability creates a heavy rain, a unique variation of rain. Along with the usual effects of rain, heavy rain causes damage dealing fire type moves to fail, unless a Pokemon on the field has the Airlock or Cloud9 ability. Additionally, heavy rain causes the weather modifying moves Sunny Day, Rain Dance, Sandstorm and Hail to fail if used, and causes the abilities Drought, Drizzle, Sandstream and Snow Warning to fail to activate. On the other hand, Groudon is a Pokemon with the ability to expand the lands and continents and has sometimes been in mythology as the creator of the land. It expands lands by using its power to scatter rain clouds and use both light and heat to make water evaporate on a large scale. Like its counterpart Kyogre, Groudon has also played a hero to the people by saving those who have suffered from horrendous flooding. After its legendary battle with Kyogre, it ended up sleeping in magma underground. Don't wake it up, it's said to make volcanoes erupt upon its awakening. As well as these pretty cool facts, just like Kyogre, Groudon too got a primal evolution in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which again makes it incredibly powerful. Groudon 2 has an overwhelming stat total of 770, but in this Pokemon's case, it has the ability Desolate Land. Again, if you're not familiar with this ability, when a Pokemon with Desolate Land enters the battle, or a Pokemon gains the ability Desolate Land, the ability creates extremely harsh sunlight, a unique variation of harsh sunlight. Along with the usual effects of harsh sunlight, extremely harsh sunlight causes damage dealing water type moves to fail, unless a Pokemon on the field has the Airlock or Cloud 9 ability. Additionally, extremely harsh sunlight causes the weather modifying moves Sunny Day, Rain Dance, Sandstorm and Hail to fail if used, and causes the abilities Drought, Drizzle, Sandstream and Snow Warning to fail to activate. Although they may not always see eye to eye, they go hand in hand with their opposite godlike powers and both prove to be super powerful, but none the more than when they are paired together. For all of these reasons, Groudon and Kyogre take the number 4 spot in today's top 5 video. Coming in at the halfway point in today's top 5 video is Rayquaza. Rayquaza has long been a favourite amongst Pokemon fans, not only for its aggressive green exterior, but for the stats and abilities that make him so powerful in battle as well. Rayquaza has already been seen as a highly powerful and capable Pokemon, but now with its ability to evolve into Mega Rayquaza, it has reached a whole new level. Mega Rayquaza is so immensely powerful that it has actually been banned from the use in some online tournaments. It is known for being the master of the weather trio and frequently intervenes to stop battles between Kyogre and Groudon, arguably proving it's more powerful than both of them. Not only does it have crazy speed and strength that make it one of the better Pokemon, but the increase in stats thanks to Mega Evolution really make this Pokemon tough to take down. Mega Rayquaza has an incredibly high stat total of 780, narrowly beating the stat totals of Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon by 10 points. If that didn't make it strong enough, Mega Rayquaza also gets access to the ability Delta Stream. When a Pokemon with Delta Stream enters the battle, or a Pokemon gains the ability Delta Stream, the ability creates a mysterious air current, a unique weather condition. A mysterious air current causes moves that would be super effective against pure flying type Pokemon to instead deal neutral damage to all flying type Pokemon, unless a Pokemon on the field has the Airlock or Cloud 9 ability. Additionally, a mysterious air current causes the weather modifying moves Sunny Day, Rain Dance, Sandstorm and Hail to fail if used, and causes the ability Drought, Drizzle, Sandstream and Snow Warning to fail to activate. All in all, Rayquaza is both one of the most powerful and awesome Pokemon to date, and so takes the number 3 spot in today's top 5 video. Coming in at the number 2 spot in today's top 5 video is Mewtwo. Now, Mewtwo is not only super powerful, but as one of the original Pokemon, it is a source of nostalgia for 90s kids everywhere. It was a Pokemon initially created by science by Dr. Fuji using the DNA of Mew with the intent of being the ultimate powerful Pokemon. It certainly is super powerful, and it has some awesome abilities, such as being able to not only control the mind of humans and Pokemon, but erase their minds too. It also happens to have the ability to Mega Evolve into 2 different forms, being Mewtwo X and Mewtwo Y, having incredible stats and some super powerful moves. Its signature move is Psystrike, which materializes a psychic wave to inflict damage. Terrified yet? You should be. Mewtwo is said to be one of the most ruthless Pokemon, with absolutely no compassion and designed to only think of destroying its enemies. All in all, this test tube baby is highly powerful and capable and should be approached with caution. For all of these reasons, Mewtwo takes the number 2 spot in today's top 5 video. Claiming the number 1 spot in today's top 5 video and the most powerful Pokemon in existence in my opinion is Arceus. Arceus is unquestionably a Pokemon legend, but some would go a step further and name him a Pokemon god. Arceus was responsible for creating the entire universe with its 1,000 arms, although his physical form has fewer limbs. So Arceus is basically the god of creation in the Pokemon universe. As the one to technically create everything and therefore in turn create all Pokemon, he is definitely the top contender for the most powerful Pokemon of all time. Nintendo did not officially recognize him until 2009, so for those who were part of the 90s Pokemon craze, he may be less familiar. He has quickly become the favourite due to his important role in the Pokemon universe. Not only should we all acknowledge him as one of the coolest and most powerful Pokemon, we should thank him for creating the Pokemon universe that we all know and love. He also has the biggest stat total of all Pokemon, not including Mega Evolution, which is no surprise to the God Pokemon having a total of 770, with a stat of 120 in each section. Having an incredible move pool too also means that this Pokemon can be run in many different ways, and can also have any typing thanks to its ability. For all of these reasons, it's no surprise that Arceus takes the number 1 spot in today's top 5 video. But with that, wraps up this video. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. If you did enjoy the video though, please leave a like, I'd really appreciate it. Like I said at the start of the video, I would also love to hear your guys' opinions too on this subject, so be sure to leave them in the comment section below. I have a couple top 5s coming onto your screen in a second, so be sure to give them a watch if you have the time, and also subscribe if you like my content. That's everything from me though, so thanks for watching guys, have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.